Zero.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for coming out this evening. It's nice to see everybody's lovely faces, and even if you're not live, we can see your pictures. That's still good. So my name is Lynette, and I am a Juice Plus rep, and I am with the Team Infinity and beyond. So I'd like to first talk about thanks for Troy for having me on this panel. I kept wrestling with the word nurture all week. Nurture. What is nurture? What does that mean to me? And when I think of nurture a lot now, of course, I think about my family, and it means to get that personal time in, to dialogue with people, not just to dialogue, but also to listen to people and also share the love, because that's what Christ asked us to do, love one another as he loves us. So a lot of times we may have some difficult times doing that, but he brings it to our memory every now and again to let us know that that's what he expects from us. And so with this community, that's what I have received a lot. I would have never known some of these ladies here on this panel in Troy had it not been for COVID-19. So that's been a positive part that we can look at, is we can look at this virtually. You know, it's amazing to me how many people I have met in this community and beyond, because of that. That's the positive part of it. So my story started about 8 years ago as a customer. And my good friend, she likes to say I'm a big sister, but she always tries to take over. She's on here. I'm not even call her name Beverly. But 8 years ago, she introduced me to the product. And, you know, after she shared her story, I said, why not? Why not? I can do this. And I always loved trying to eat as healthy as I could. And so this was something that could bridge the gap. So I said, why not? So I started taking the product, and I can't tell you that I had any major medical concerns going on with me.
Your phone may have done something to we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? That's because somebody was calling me, and it's connected to my iPad. So I think I was saying that my husband, you know, he gets colds, the flu every season this time around, about at least 4. And I said, honey, you better get some of that Juice Plus on that counter. You better get some of that Juice Plus. So he's from the show me state. 3 years went by, you know. So 3 years went by, he started taking the product. I said, why'd you start taking it? He said, I noticed you weren't getting sick. And I was like, wow. And so then my grandson was in the Michigan, caught up with the water. He was 4, and he got pneumonia in all 4 ventricles when we were traveling in Florida. Ended up in the hospital. Started him on it. A year went by. His grandmother there said, I need that product for all my kids. So they got it. Then my work daughter I started handing out products, just handing out like I was the pharmacist. And so I handed out the product. And finally, I was telling Bev, I'm giving this product, and this person is trying to. She said, girl, stop playing. You need to become a partner. I was like, okay. I hadn't even thought about it. You know, she hadn't pushed it to me like that. And so I became a partner. And before I became a partner, though, of course, y'all see my Tower Gardens. I watched that for about a year. I started saying, if I can spend, you know, $80 to $100 on produce every 2 weeks doing this, I can have the Tower Garden with all the produce on it, and it's more cost effective. Yes. So of course I got one. A year later, so I got the other one, and then I was all in with Juice Plus, Tower Garden, all the products, and became a partner. And so that's how my journey started with Juice Plus, and I am loving every minute of it. There's some times when people say, oh, you know, you want to say, I'm going to do this as long as I can. I love inspiring healthy living with people. And I don't get tired of talking about it. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. So with that, I want to introduce our next partner, Warlesea. She's going to share her story with us.
Thank you, Lynette. I'm now going to try to keep up with your energy. I love that. That was awesome. My story started 2.5 years ago when I was introduced to these awesome plant powders. And when I was introduced to Juice Plus, again, like Lynette, I didn't feel like I had a whole lot of medical problems or whatever the case may be. Later on, I learned that I did, but I didn't think I did. So the one thing I did know, though, is that we were not getting enough fruits and vegetables in our system, in our families, in my family rather. So I said, you know what, why not? But little did I know that just making that small little change, one little change in our diets, it made a world of difference. I didn't realize I was suffering from chronic fatigue. My husband and I, he was 1 point away from diabetes. I was 1.5 points away from diabetes. And I didn't even realize that until we were getting life insurance. And you know, when you get life insurance, they test you for everything, blood, urine, everything. So when they did that, that's when we realized we're not in as good of a shape that we thought we were. But not only that did that help my immediate family, my children and myself, of course, we spread it throughout our entire family. And my mother and sisters and brothers, we just had 3 months ago our first Juice Plus baby in our family. For my niece, and that's my great nephew. And that's our first plump little juicy Juice Plus baby. And my mother's been doing so well. She's 72 years old. She's on no medication. As a matter of fact, she just had an operation a week ago, and her doctors were floored because she did not have to have any morphine drip or any type of pain medication at all. And they just kept watching her like, there's something wrong, that she doesn't need any pain medicine or anything like that after a major operation. So it's just been awesome as far as our health is concerned. But knowing how great these plant powders were, I had to look into the business behind the products, because it had to be an awesome business. And thank goodness I did, because it was the best business decision that I have ever made. And like Lynette mentioned, or Gwendolyn mentioned, we would not know each other on this call if it hadn't been for Juice Plus. And I've met so many wonderful, wonderful people. And I know that I wouldn't have met them if it hadn't been for Juice Plus. And knowing that the one thing that made me say, where do I sign? I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. And I've done different network marketing, direct sale companies, but I never felt like I would be able to quit my 9-to-5 job, because my husband is self-employed and I provide insurance for our entire family. So how am I going to be able to retire myself? Because we need medical insurance. So when I was introduced to Juice Plus, and I heard that after you reach a particular position in this company, that you will get benefits, and not only benefits, but corporate benefits. That's when I said, okay, where do I sign? Where do I sign? And I'm so happy to say that I have reached a position where I am getting benefits. So it only took 2.5 years to get benefits. So now I have put in place
Nurture, and I'll be on your call at 8.
Let me get her muted. I put in place a plan, put it out there in the universe, that a year from now, I'll be able to retire from my job and work my Juice Plus business 9-to-5 or 11-to-2, or however I want to work it. I'll be able to full-time work my Juice Plus business. So my dreams have come to fruition, and it's been such a wonderful journey, because I'm able to now see how I can help other women, and not just women, but we're talking about nurturer, and we as women are nurturers. So I see where I could help so many other women stay at home with their children, or be able to see that light at the end of their tunnel where they can leave their jobs and be able to make a great lucrative job working for themselves with Juice Plus. And the operative word is not just working for yourself. You work for yourself, but you're never by yourself. You have sidelines and uplines and downlines, and it's like a complete circle of people that you have that are out there supporting you, and not even looking for anything else in return. That was one thing that I've never seen before in any other company that I've ever partnered with. So this was a really great decision that I made. Wonderful decision, wonderful team, wonderful people. And that leads me to a wonderful, beautiful lady that is on this panel with us this evening. Her name is Gwen. I'm just going to read you her bio so I won't mess it up and miss out on anything, because she's an awesome, awesome person. Gwendolyn became an entrepreneur over 30 years ago as co-owner and manager in her husband's solo pediatric medical practice in Athens, Georgia. Gwen received a Bachelor of Science degree in biology, and most recently from Mercer University, where as a student, she was active in the civil rights movement. She also received a BS in medical technology from the Medical College of Georgia. After retiring from the pediatric office, she pursued a career as a professional portrait artist, which I found out a little later, and I saw some of her pictures in there. Awesome. and but found that she missed educating others on preventive health and wellness. She then earned her certification as a health educator and is an advocate for better health, especially for kids. June 2020, Gwen and Victor celebrated 49 years of marriage. They have 4 adult children and 7 grandchildren. Gwen enjoys spiritual medication and Bible study, portrait painting, playing pickleball, biking, and vacationing with family. Well, Gwen, Miss Payton, you take it away. Let me unmute you. We don't want to miss anything that you are saying. Okay, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Sure. Okay, wow. That was a very complete bio, but I want to tell you, Lynette, that I am so proud to be here with you ladies. This community has done so much for me over the last 20 years. 2021, I would have been a part of the Juice Plus community for 20 years. And it has been an incredible time. I guess I should start by saying that, again, I appreciate you guys' story and the way that you came to be a part of this. And this company, this community, all I can say is, like Jerry Maguire said, it completes me, okay? It completes me. And I'll go back and tell you why. When my husband and I first learned about this community, we were in a very busy pediatric practice. He chose to be a solo practitioner for almost 40 years, and that was awesome. We loved working together. I had to learn how to do that. You married girls, you have to learn how to work with your husband, but once I got it, and we were on our way. But when we started out, it was very they're very different. I want to share a little bit more about how we got started. And there's a really great friend of mine. She is actually a part of our community. Her name is Dr. Tina Jones. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia. And her story is pretty much our story. And because pictures can take the place of 1,000 words, I'm going to share my screen in just a second and have you see her story. And then you'll know a lot more about my husband and my story from looking at her story, and I'll fill in our part. So just one second. It says that I need to be able to host disabled participant screen share. Oh, I need to be allowed to share my screen. Just one moment. And I can go on and keep talking until that is set up.
Or you have to make co-host.
It says that the host disabled participants, so he's going to have to enable participant screen sharing in order for me to do that. There you go. But anyway, I'll go back to when we were first introduced to this community. It was 20 years ago, and my husband and I, we were in a busy practice. A couple of other things that were going on in our lives at the time was that my daughter was getting ready to go off to school, and we wanted to make sure that she had the best chance of doing well in school. And if you met my husband, you know, he's kind of a lightweight, and my daughter is a very lightweight. She wears probably a size 1. And so we know that when she gets a little bit anxious, she stops eating. So we were very concerned about, and she didn't want a meal ticket. She doesn't like junk food. So we were very concerned about her eating when she went away. And so we were looking for different things. We had started juicing, trying to get her to juice, learn how to juice before she left to go off to school. And we were invited by a friend to hear another health professional talk about the impact and the power of fruits and veggies in your system. So that got us interested because of her health. And then within a couple of years, my mother was struggling with kidney cancer. She had previously had thyroid cancer, and we had started literally eating more fruits and veggies, getting more fruits and veggies in our system every day. And we, you know, shared it with my mom. My mother started to really feel so much better, even though she was going through chemo. I'm going to try again to share my screen. I'm still not able to. But anyway, she was going through chemo, and unlike a lot of other people, she was not getting sick. She was not getting sick on her stomach after the chemo, and she started really feeling great. So we started to see right away the impact of having more fruits and veggies in our system on my mother. My daughter was away and she was not getting sick. She was not getting unusual colds during the winter while she was away. And so that was the way we got started with this community. Well, fast forward about 5 years, and my husband is such a learner. And even though he had not decided to do more than share with his patients, some of his patients, we found that we were getting such a good report from people who we had shared it with, that we started to learn more. And he will tell you that going to medical school, he didn't learn much about nutrition and the impact of nutrition. And 30 years later, we have a son who is also a physician. And 30 years later, he got no more information about nutrition. My husband will say that, you know, when you go to medical school, you go to learn to treat illness. You don't learn about prevention. You don't learn about maintaining good health. You learn how to treat illness. And my son did the same thing. So here we are in 2006, and we decided to go to a conference, learn more about nutrition. And one of the doctors there challenged my husband to share this incredible product, a way of getting very convenient and simple way of getting more fruits and veggies in your diet every day with his patients. And on the way home, my husband said, you know what? I talk nutrition to our parents every day. Why shouldn't I just share this with them if it's done so much for us? And, you know, we didn't know what we were preparing ourselves for. We didn't know that something was coming. Let me just check and see if I can, oh, there, I can share my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and share and show you a couple of things right now. Let's see, make sure I can find where I'm going. Actually, Let's see. Oh, hmm. I'm sorry. I'm not finding. This is kind of a little bit crazy. A little bit crazy. I'm sorry.
Technology.
I can't find it. It's not here. Okay. Well, that's not going to work. I went to screen share and it's not showing the basic screen. Let me try one more time to see if I can find the basic screen. Okay. I found Dr. Tina. Here we go.
Age 3, I think I wanted to be a doctor. And I think that had something to do with the fact that I was kind of sickly as a kid. And I was in and out of the hospital quite a bit. And I just knew that I wanted to help people to feel better. My mother and father both inspired me to be a doctor. But it was because of one specific event that occurred when I was 13 and my mother was 39. She had her first heart attack. My mother was a wonderful cook, but she was a Southern cook, Southern style cooking. Over the years, she was in and out of the hospital many times. By the time she was 56, she died. It was horrible. You know, I lost someone very dear to me, and my children haven't had the opportunity to ever see their grandmother. I think that that is actually what caused me to take the path that I've taken today. Growing up in the 60s as a young African-American girl, there were challenges. The schools that I attended were not necessarily in my neighborhood. I certainly did have lots of stares as I was going to and from my different schools. I was the only African-American female in my medical school class. To be an African-American woman in medical school, you know, it was a real privilege. And I realized that I had been given an extraordinary opportunity. So I just worked very hard and tried to do my very best in all things. We had just come out of the civil rights era. This was in the early 70s when I started medical school. And I believe that that is what all of the African-American students try to do. After my mother's death, I knew I had to make some changes in the way I did things because I wanted to be able to be there for my children. And I knew that I would have to eat differently. I'd have to live a different lifestyle. When I was in medical school, there was one physician on staff whose specialty was nutrition. And I learned about the importance of adding fruits and vegetables to the diet on a consistent daily basis. I, like many people, eat just exactly what I like to eat. But having Juice Plus added to my diet, I was able to get a wide variety of fruits and vegetables consistently. For me, Juice Plus has afforded me the opportunity to have more vibrant life. and a better quality of life. It's also given me the opportunity to share whole food nutrition with people all around the world. My 87-year-old father, who lives with me, loves Juice Plus. He asks me every single day, Tina, where am I getting all of this energy from? It must be that Juice Plus to do. After my mother's death, I knew I had to make some changes in the way I
So I wanted to share that video because actually Dr. Tina and my husband were in the same school at the same time. And what you saw, the civil rights, the demonstrations in the late 60s and 70s, you know, those were very impactful while he was in school. And of course, here we are in medical school and we have 2 babies while he's in school. And I decided to go back to school myself and get another degree. So during those times, they were very tough times, but her story is so similar to mine because my father passed away of heart disease at the age of 56 also. And as I was sharing with you earlier, my mother was a smoker. I hated it. She smoked for 60 years and she ended up having lung cancer, kidney cancer, and thyroid cancer. She actually passed away this past April 27th. And my mother had the best 20 years of her life. And I can't thank this community and this just knowing what we know and being able to share it with people and allow them to make the choice about their life. That's what life is about. Life is about options. You know, you can be reared in one direction, but if you look around you and you look out and see what's out there, then you have a choice. You don't have to follow, you know, I hadn't even gotten to my husband's diagnosis of leukemia, but you know, a cancer diagnosis does not have to be your destiny. You can make a decision about trying to do whatever you can do to have the best quality of life from whatever stage you are. And I don't know if you have another question that you wanted to ask Warlesea before I go on, or you want me to keep talking? What do you want?
Now, I noticed that you said your husband in your bio that he's a pediatric medical doctor. What about that as reference to the children? I know that we as adults, we are taking or eating Juice Plus, but what about the children?
I'm sorry,
Did you hear me? I'm sorry.
No,
I was
ahead.
saying in reference to the children, I know your husband is a pediatric medical doctor. So what are you doing or what have he done for the children?
Okay, you know, when we first started again in this community, we learned that there was a program where children could get Juice Plus, the fruit, the veggies, for free for up to 4 years. And we thought that that was an incredible program for our parents to be able to be involved in. And we had no idea the reaction that we would get from our parents. Most of our parents, you know, in a pediatric setting, a lot of time for years, it was all about, you know, well child checkups and acute illness. There was nothing in between. And acute illness can be something like a sore throat, but the parents want to get back to work. So you got to get something in there and help them quickly. But what we learned was through that program was that we could offer that so that the parents themselves could get better. Because honestly, what made us promote getting that started right when we did was in that year, we had 3 of our fathers. One died, and all three had heart attacks. 2 of them were in stressful jobs. I think one of them was an attorney, and he was traveling back and forth to Atlanta. I mean, these were people in their 30s. And I told Victor, I said, you know what? We've got to help our parents. I mean, what good? Victor always says, who's gonna, you know, if the mule goes lame, who pulls the plow? If the parent is not there, who's going to take care of the kids? And so that was very important to us to try and help our parents to take better care of themselves. And then that would follow through with the kids. And that's what we've seen. And that's what we saw when we started introducing the idea of getting more fruits and veggies in your diet every day to our parents. I mean, we put it on in every exam room. We had a poster with all the fruits and veggies in it, so that if they came in for an acute illness, they had to sit in that room for a few minutes without Victor. And then most of the time they would say, Dr. Payton, what's that all about?
You're muted. Gwen, unmute yourself again. Oh.
Thank you.
I forgot you have to ask you to unmute.
Yeah. Okay. So, but anyway, I was just saying that, when Victor started to offer it to his parents were very appreciative of it. And the fact that Victor would, literally stake his reputation on something that he wanted to offer to a patient that wasn't a pharmaceutical, that we knew would not cause any side effects. We knew that was clean, good food, that it would enhance their life. And many of the parents would call and say, tell Dr. Payton, we haven't been in, don't think we have left you, but we haven't been in because the kids aren't sick. They're doing so well. We'll be there for the well child checkup. And so that was really an impressionable time for us to see what was happening with our parents and patients. Yeah.
That is awesome. I know you were mentioning you were going to go into your husband, but you were mentioning something in reference to your husband. And I know when we talked before, he has been doing really well. Can you share that with us as far as how your husband is doing?
Yeah, in 2014, Victor was diagnosed with a very rare form of leukemia. Only 1 in 10 million people get it. There had only been 30 cases 600 cases in the last 30 years in Georgia. And right now, as far as we know, there's a national registry, and Victor's the oldest living person on that registry. People usually succumb within 2 years at the most. They only gave him 7 months, but he just celebrated 6 years last week. And he has been on chemo for the whole 6 years. Just this past May, he started with chemo pills, but before then, he was getting injections at least twice a week of chemo. And the great part about this whole situation for him is, I always say, if you know him, you just gotta love him. He loves what he does. He was built to be a pediatrician. He actually was a preemie himself. He only weighed 4 pounds when he was born, way back in the 1940s. So I think it was his destiny to be able to have that, to take care of children. But when he got sick, it was a very uncertain time for us, because here we are, we've done what we were supposed to do. We grew up, we went to college, we got our education, that entrepreneurial spirit. We started our own business. We stayed in there working, and he would say he worked 60 to 80 hours a week or more for 40 years, literally 40 years, including the years that he worked before he started the practice. And here we are thinking, okay, now it's time to retire. And he gets sick, and the hospital who he was working for at the time, they decide to close his practice. So here we are in our 70s, in late 60s, and we don't have any income. And we're very educated, but we don't have any income. And little did we know that when we started sharing about this whole food product in 2006 that 8 years later, we would be at Emory Hospital and we'd get a note, hey, you don't have a job, your practice is closed. You know, the hospital sent a letter to our patients saying that Victor was terminally ill and they were closing his practice. But I was sitting there and I thought to myself, whoa, this is different. You know, Victor used to make a joke when we went to buy a car. He'd say, I'm unemployed. And I would joke and say, I work for him. So, but here we were in that situation. He was unemployed and I worked for him. I mean, you look back on situations, you think, whoa, how in the world did we make it through that time? But little did we know that God had a plan, that when we started sharing, you know, with our patients, that would be the residual income of that. We had been getting residual income the whole time, but it was like savings money. It wasn't bill money. It wasn't mortgage money, car payment money. That wasn't what that was for. But when this happened, we kind of rerouted that residual income check to be able to take care of us. And my husband got right back in the game. He had to go through taking all the immunizations that a child would take after his bone marrow transplant. He got right back in the game. And within 2.5 years, he was back practicing again. So it was amazing time. It was an amazing time.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is excellent. I'm gonna spotlight and I really love hearing your story. That's awesome. I'm gonna spotlight Lynn as well, because I have a question for you ladies while we're sitting here in our living room. But this year has been a challenging year, to say the least. What have you done, you ladies, in your business? Either one can answer or both. What have you done in your business and to combat what we have been going through this year, and how have you wrapped that up for the end of this year?
Lynette, if you want to talk.
It could be Lynette. I'll give you a break, Gwen, because you were just talking. So Lynette, answer that for us. This has been a challenging year, 2020. What have you done in your business to make adjustments for it?
You know, I try to look at this year as not being as challenging, but as rewarding. And I think that because God has had us be still and just think about what it is we need to do with our lives and our health, number one. And I'm in education and I'm in Maryland. Our schools are just distant learning now. Nobody's in the building except for administration. But as far as my business and combat it, it gave me a chance to not procrastinate on things I said I wanted to do. One thing I said I wanted to do was either do something with nutrition or do and health in that line. So I became a certified health coach during this time. And I'm thrilled about it because I kept putting it on the back burner, you know, going to work. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And finally I said, you know what? You're home. You can do this. And I felt I needed to do that because talking to people about Juice Plus and the nutrition of it, and the company offers a wealth of information. We have all kinds of conferences and people that are in the business like Gwen and yourself. People come from all different backgrounds, health backgrounds. So we get that information. But I felt I needed something more for Lynette, you know, to make me feel more comfortable sharing this wonderful product. So I delved right in there and got it done. And I'm going to do a little bit more with that as well. Awesome. And so y'all, I'll have my website set up pretty soon and really get into more of the coaching part of it. But yeah, that's what, as far as my business, that was major for me. That was major for me and major for my family. And that they could see me doing that, and my babies, because my daughter was living with me for a while because a tree fell in her house. And so she has 3 kids. So they were in my house and they're studying, doing their thing. And then my son's son was here from Michigan, and he stayed longer because he didn't have to rush back to get back to school. So I started him in school here. So they're watching me as I'm studying, as they're studying too. So that was a plus, because they can say, okay, Lolo's studying too. So that was how I kind of combat what happened with COVID, and then able to share with people the product and say, and especially with the Tower Gardens, we could go into the store. You can't get anything any fresher than this. You can you
Yes.
pick it right off, and you can just eat it. In the store, it has to travel. It can travel 400 miles, 20 miles, whatever. Take it. And then it gets in the store. And they'll say it's fresh and organic. Not so much. It's not vine ripened. And you go and you don't know how many people have touched it. Yeah. So, I got all into that, and I'm going to share something with y'all here. Let's see if I can do this. Can you see this? Can y'all see anything?
We see your screen. It's just not playing yet.
Okay, let me stop for a minute. iCloud. I don't know if it's gonna share because it says plug
Something was
in.
about to play. It's playing. We don't see anything, but something's playing.
Oh, so you don't see anything. So what I was trying to share was during this time, in my grandkids, it's actually a video of my grandkids helping with the Tower Garden, and they're checking the pH, and there's 2 of them. They're 9 and 6, and plus they were working for me as well because they wanted to get some Legos. So they had to do certain things. I said, okay, well, y'all can clean the Tower Garden, and we're gonna check the pH, and we're gonna do that. And we made a chart, so they could do that. So all of that during the COVID, it was just such a blessing to be able to do that with them, and they get it. And plus, when the kids, we talk about the kids, and Ms. Gwen was talking about the kids and the parents and sharing the product with them. When they have a part of this, they eat it faster because they're helping to grow it, and my 9-year-old says that this lettuce tastes a whole lot better than the lettuce out of the store. So she got it. But yeah, that's pretty much has been my story as far as everything that has happened with COVID, and not to negate, the other part of it, the seriousness of all the deaths and things that we've had, because that we have to remember that as well. But one thing I wanted to piggyback on what Ms. Gwen was talking about in the medical field. Well, I attended the University of South Florida, and I'm on the Black Alumni Association board, and we've been having these health forums since COVID. We had our 3rd one last week, and it was we're partnering with Moffitt Cancer Center in Tampa. And the first 2 doctors that talked, one was an oncologist and one was a colon doctor. The first thing both of them said is, we have got to do better with our nutrition in our African American community. The oncologist was straightforward. He said, you have got to change the way you're eating so you don't have to come see me. He said, now, ultimately, some people will, but like with Mr. Victor, because he knew the seriousness of what fruits, berries, vegetables, and grains can do for the body, he doubled up on it. He said sometimes he tripled up on it because he understands, and he didn't learn it in his medical field, but he learned it on his own. And like Dr. Sears, that he understands what nutrition is doing for good nutrition. It's doing for our bodies. So when she was saying that, those, and when those doctors were talking, I was like, yes. That's what I'm talking about. Because there are others that don't want to hear it. They just want to see just that medical side. They don't want to see the holistic side. They just want to see, because they're afraid. I think some of them are just afraid to admit when they don't know. And people, it's okay to say I don't know. And that's why I tell my grandkids every time, it's okay to say I don't know. We will find the answer. We will find the answer. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Lynette. Thank you so much. I appreciate how you tell your stories. Gwen, did you want to chime in?
Unmute.
You are muted again, Miss Gwen.
She said, you go ahead, and she wants you to go ahead and tell yours. She said, you have to unmute her.
You have to allow me to unmute myself is what I have to. Okay. Well, yeah, this year, starting in January, and I love one of the things that we usually do in this community is we usually start January. A lot of times people start January with fasting and thinking about what they're going to do for the year, making resolutions. And our community starts January by looking and doing a dream board, thinking of what am I going to be doing a year from now? What's my life going to look like 2 years from now, 5 years from now? And we usually do a dream board. And honestly, if you base my life on my dream board, you would say that I had an incredible year, and absolutely a phenomenal year, because everything except one, there's only one thing on my dream board that hasn't come to fruition. And I had about 8 things on my dream board. Through this community, I've learned how to dream. I wasn't a dreamer before. My husband and I, like I said, we worked 40 years and we were gonna retire. And, who dreams about doing anything but retiring? What does that mean? But if you look at my dream board, even down to the point of getting a new car, we had the opportunity last week to get a new car. My husband's car was hit by a deer and almost completely totaled. He was fine. But I told him, I said, you know what? I really don't want that new car. We could get it. We could take whatever they were going to give for the old car that he had, an old junk car that got hit. But you know what? I said, it started to be on my heart maybe about 6 or 7 months ago that my dream is to be able to give to people whenever I want, whatever I want. And there were because of COVID, there were several different charitable organizations that I knew. There's an AIDS clinic in India. There's an AIDS clinic in South Africa that I've contributed to before, but I want to give more. And that's another thing about this community. This company is a giving company. As partners in this company, we are a part of a foundation that gives to St. Jude's Hospital. The company is the title sponsor for St. Jude's, was the first company to ever raise $10 million in one marathon. And they've kept that up for the last few years. They also give to the Girls and Boys and Girls Club. Our company set aside 4,000 tower gardens like the ones you see behind Lynette, growing fresh raw fruits and veggies on your back deck or in your home, aeroponic vertical growing. They set aside 4,000 tower gardens for the Boys and Girls Club. And Victor and I were one of the first to apply for the grant and have one brought into our city here in Athens. And I know that there have been tower gardens that have been put in many, many, many cities all over the United States. Our company also helps the Children's Hunger Fund, over 10 million, providing over 10 million shake mix meals for the Children's Hunger Fund. And so I want to be able to give. And when I started thinking about that, it made me even more think about how not only do I want to share this amazing fruits and veggies, simple way of getting your body healthier with everyone that I know. I want to share this incredible opportunity with as many people who want to jump on board, because I know that there are a lot of people like me who are doing quite well for themselves, but they just can't give. You don't have. When they called from India and said they needed $40,000 American dollars to keep this AIDS clinic, which just has kids and their parents who have AIDS in it, going up through 2020, 2021. They need 40,000. I want to be able to say, okay, I can write a check for part of that. I want to be able to do that. And this opportunity allows me the opportunity to do this. I mean, people think doctors make a lot. Well, doctors usually, especially family practitioners and pediatricians, and we have a lot of babies too, you know, we do, we make enough money to take care of ourselves, but we don't have a lot that we can give, especially if you end up paying for your own education all the way through. So this company, this year, I know next month when I do my dream board is going to be so much bigger. I mean, I could not believe how God came through with everything on my dream board for this past year. And I know that I can ask and I can continue to reach out to people and love and care for people. And He will open the floodgates so that I will be able to give more. So that's what this year's been about. Now, of course, you all know that my mom passed. I mentioned that, but my mom was such a giver that I know that I'll be carrying on her legacy, which, by the way, I want to share just a minute. I know that we didn't do it in the beginning, but the person who's behind this little sitting in your living room talking and sharing about your life and your health transformation is Troy Richardson. And Troy started this conversation in your living room about mothers nurturing because of his mother. He said that she was known as the Black Mother Teresa, and he want to honor her, Miss Dorothy Richardson, by having this type of forum where people can share their lives and entertain each other. And so that's the root of this particular call. And I did want to mention that and thank Troy for giving us the opportunity as moms to be able to share with our friends and family our transformation, our health transformation. And basically for me and Victor, it's been a life transformation. You know, we love that our son is a physician and he went that track. All of our children have their chosen careers, but this type of career, you have so much more freedom. I work when I want to work. I don't have to get up at 9 and go early and go out, and you know, I can stay in my PJs and work. I can work if I'm on the beach or if I'm at my house. I love this. This is the best life, and I want to model this for my children and my grandchildren, so that whether they go to college or not, there are a lot of people in this community who didn't even finish high school. And they have such great lives. And that's what I want to model for my children.
That is beautiful. Very, very beautiful. I'm so sorry. I have to apologize. There's a lot of noise in my background because I'm having work done on my house. So I'm so sorry about the noise. But that is an awesome story, and enjoyed having this chat in each of our living rooms together with you ladies. This has been awesome. It's been fun. I wanted to, we have about 5 minutes, and I wanted to open it up. If anyone had questions, they can ask now. We have a couple minutes to ask questions to either myself or Lynette or Miss Gwen, and we'll be more than happy to answer those for you. But hopefully we have been able to show you just how wonderful a community that we have together here in Juice Plus. And this company has been around for 50 years, and we just celebrated our 50th anniversary this year, and we've just been having fun.
Well,
So,
Warlesea, before you do that, because let me just get your name straight. Warlesea.
yes.
Okay, Warlesea is major in this company, as she said, and we would like to hear you share how this has impacted you, the business this year.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for asking me that. And yes, this year have been an awesome year. I don't like looking at this year as horrible. And like you said, Lynette, we do not want to, we don't want to not shed light on the fact that there have been many deaths along with this horrible pandemic. But it has shed a lot of light on people needing to look inside themselves for their health and think about the health of their families. So we've been able to rebuild almost our entire team with our business this year. With even going through the pandemic, we've been able to rebuild. We've been able to have so many people advance, and myself included, during this year, during this pandemic. So we took lemons and we made barrels of lemonade. So we've been able to really just really focus on what it is that we need to do and who we need to talk to, and being vulnerable. This year, our entire team have been focusing on being vulnerable. We've had some people that are on here, I won't call her out, Juliet, and say that she was afraid at a certain point to go online on Facebook and do a video, and but she did it, and she's been a boss at her videos and posting and all that kind of good stuff. So a lot of us, we stepped out of our comfort zone and we spread ourselves out, and we did things that we never thought we could. And so this year was a year for us to really focus on our business and focus on what it is that we're about, focus on inspiring healthy living around the world. And we did that, and we have just been doing so much better because of it. So thank you, Lynette, for asking me
that gave you that corporate benefits package.
And I got my corporate benefit package.
Medical, dental, vision.
My reason for signing that dotted line.
Yeah.
So I can't complain. This has not been a horrible year.
Yes.
It has been an eye-opening year for all of us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. And I really enjoyed Gwen and Lynette having you on this panel together with us. And I want to thank Troy for putting us together and being able to give our stories and be able to just, share living rooms and talk to each other. So I really, really appreciate that. Really, thank you, Troy, so much for that.
Yeah.
So if anyone have any questions, you can ask us.
Yeah.
If not,
raise your hand so that
yes,
we can
because
see
I
you.
know you may not be able to unmute yourself. So you got to raise the little hand or something like that where we can see you, and we can unmute you if you wanted to say anything. We'll give you 30 seconds to do that.
Well, while we're waiting, I just want to say one thing. I think, we go out and we purchase a lot of designer clothes and designer this, and we get our hair done and all that kind of good stuff. But I want y'all, everybody out there, to look at your body. If you're new on this call and this is your first time, especially if you haven't heard anything about our fabulous company, look at your body like it's a designer. You will pay whatever to get that Gucci, that whatever. Do that for your body. Your body is that designer. Put good nutrition in your body. And if you're doing that already, like we said, we should get at least 10 fist sizes. 10, this fist right here. Mine might be smaller than some, but 10 fist sizes of fruits, berries, vegetables, and grains in our bodies. So a lot of people say, well, I do that anyway. I eat a lot. But do you eat that much to just take care of those free radicals that are just kind of inside? So treat your body like a designer. You don't mind pay for your insides to look better than your outsides. Pay for that. Your designer body.
Yes, thank you so much, Lynette, for saying that, because that has been a platform that I've been on when I talk to people, and they'll spend money on their handbags and shoes and cars, but they don't spend it on their inside of their body, the most important thing, because you can't enjoy the cars, the bags, the shoes if you're laying in the hospital. So,
Well, and one of the things you must understand is look around you. Look at your peers, look at your family. There's a reason why some people are healthier and some people are not. You know, it's sad to say that I have a lot of diabetes, heart disease in my family. And I love my family. I've had 2 siblings to pass away already. One was younger, one was older. But I knew that I needed to make changes in order for me, for my body to be better. And, you know, we can look at what is happening and see. And if you think that you are impervious to getting some of these conditions, just look around. There are people just like you, your age and younger. And the reason is people, we have to see the importance of taking care of our bodies. There's no way your next generation is going to do it if you don't model it for them.
okay.
Someone
That is great. Say that again. Someone?
Jenny was waving her hand.
Jenny. Okay. Let me see if I can unmute Jenny. I gotta find her. Is it Jenny on what is her name on her inside her box?
It says Jenny.
Oh, it is say Jenny.
I can't see her right now.
I see a Jenny.
Nope, I don't see a Jenny, right? I don't see a Jenny.
Oh,
I see a Jonah.
Jonah and
Jonah.
Josephine. Do you see her? You don't see her anymore. Well, Cecilia has a question. I'm going to unmute her because I see. Okay, Cecilia, you can unmute yourself. Oh, I did it again. Unmute yourself.
Cecilia and Maurice.
Yes, you can unmute. You can. Yes,
Oh,
there
there
you
she
go.
is. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know. I enjoyed you guys explaining all these nutrition things, but I don't see the picture of what you're talking about. I'm sorry, it's the first time for me today and my husband, but we like to see the picture of what you're talking about. We don't have no idea. Is the peel? Is the powder? The vegetable?
Okay, great question.
Great.
question.
Excellent.
I saw, yes. So Cecilia, Juice Plus is whole food. It is fruits and veggies. The company contracts with farmers, and they, small to mid-sized farmers who have incredible farming practices, and it's all real food, and it's been juiced and done better than juiced. A lot of times, say for instance, pomegranates. Pomegranates have a lot of nutrition in the hull of the pomegranate, in the skin of the pomegranate, but we don't eat the skin. But the skin can be crushed and freeze dried, literally the water and sugar taken out, and the powder is left and it's put in a capsule. So you have Juice Plus plant powders in a capsule, and the capsule itself is completely plant-based. And also we have the chews. The chews are the same powder that is put into a chewy form for children or for snacks for adults.
Exactly. And Lynette is holding up the capsules now. Lynette, are you able to open up one of them just to show her the actual
I mean,
capsule?
we can show the short video because there's a video.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see if I can bring it up, if I'm still able to screen share.
Because I have it.
Have you got it?
Let's see if that's the one we want to show.
Yes, that's very good question, Cecilia.
Yes. You know, Cecilia, we just hanging out, and we wanted to be able to just talk a little, but thank you so much for that, because I'm sure there are other people who might be new to our community and would love to hear the same thing. Oh, look at you, Lynette. Okay, let's find it. How about
no, that's not the one I want.
the jump start? Is that what
I'm trying to do the.
You go to the freedom revolution.
Yeah, let's go there.
than to videos.
It's moving a little slow. Come on, there we go. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I'll do this one.
When it comes to our health, diet is at the center of everything. And fruits and vegetables need to be at the center of our diets. I'm here today to tell you more about Juice Plus, whole food-based fruit and vegetable capsules that have given thousands of people a jump start to better diets and better health. We all know we need to eat lots of fruits and vegetables, half our plate at every meal, and we need to eat a wide variety too. But for most of us, even on our very best days, it's hard to do that. And that's where Juice Plus comes in. Juice Plus is whole food nutrition from 20 fruits and vegetables, 30 if you count the berry blend, that bridges the gap between what we should eat and what we actually do eat every day. I say whole food because it is food, concentrated to deliver a powerful nutritional punch in a few small capsules. We harvest the produce at just the right time to ensure the nutrition is at its peak. Freeze the produce to lock in that nutrition and then, well, sort of pulverize everything, peels and all, into a pulp to unlock that nutrition and concentrate it. The peel is really important because, let's take an orange for example. There's more vitamin C gram for gram in the peel than in the fruit itself. And if you're like me, you don't usually eat the peel. We dry that pulverized pulp, peels and all, at carefully controlled temperatures to protect the nutrients from damage. Then, blend it into Juice Plus fruit, vegetable, and berry powders, delivered to you in plant-based capsules or chewables. And we do all of this at state-of-the-art freezing, drying, blending, and manufacturing facilities. Juice Plus checks all the boxes. It's 100% plant-based and 100% vegan, even the capsules themselves. It's made entirely from non-GMO ingredients, it's gluten-free, and it's third-party NSF certified, independently confirming that what's on the label is really in the product. Juice Plus is supported by over 20 years of independent clinical research, conducted at prestigious hospitals and universities around the world, showing the benefits of Juice Plus on heart health, lung health, obesity, the immune system, even our DNA. There have been more than 35 studies and counting on Juice Plus, published in leading medical and scientific journals, making it easily the most researched branded nutritional product ever. And get this, if you're a parent or a grandparent or even an aunt or uncle, you can get Juice Plus free for a child by enrolling in our special program for families. This is our way to get Juice Plus into the hands of more families and encourage healthier eating habits for the next generation. Juice Plus also offers other whole food-based products that help you jumpstart and maintain a healthier lifestyle. Juice Plus complete shake mixes make it easy to replace unhealthy calories with a healthy shake or a smoothie. Mix with other healthful ingredients to start your day, or enjoy at lunch, or as an afternoon pick-me-up. Complete is rich in plant-based sources of protein and fiber and contains an entire range of whole food-based ingredients, different from those in Juice Plus capsules or chewables. And Juice Plus Complete bars are another tasty way to replace unhealthy calories with healthier ones. Juice Plus Omega Blend offers a unique whole food blend of 5 different omega fatty acids, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. What also makes Juice Plus Omega Blend so unique is it's a 100% plant-based omega product. We bypass the middle fish and go straight to the fish's source, the algae. And last but not least, there's Tower Garden by Juice Plus, a vertical aeroponic home growing system that lets you grow your own fresh fruits and vegetables year-round, indoors or out. We're proud that our Juice Plus products have been that one simple change that's helped jumpstart thousands of people to better diets and better health. We bet they can do the same for you.